Hey, I'm Zeb,
And I'm Maddie.
and welcome to the We Don't Know Yet podcast. Whilst both Maddie and I are healthcare practitioners, we understand that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare. Should you require any medical attention, please seek out your local healthcare practitioner. All right,
We're back.
we're back again.
How you going?
Good. I feel like we're right on the back end of the year.
Seriously, I'm feeling
Chrissy is almost here. Oh, we should have bought our Christmas hats out.
No, next
It's
podcast.
Christmas edition.
100%. Next one.
Yeah. Well,
actually-
this will go up right pretty much on the bang on Christmas time.
When the next one goes out, it'll be the new year, won't it?
Yeah, it
That'll
will.
be a bit embarrassing.
Yeah. I don't know if we can still be wearing Christmas hats then.
Look, I have my tree up until the end of January.
Do you?
100%.
Is that just a lazy thing though? You're just too lazy to pull it down.
Too lazy, but also you want to keep the festivities going, and January always kind of feels it's got a Christmas vibe. I don't know. My dad is so lazy though, so last year I think it was he kept it up for all year on just the basis that he was too lazy to pop it down, and then had a Christmas in July party in July
I love
just to
that.
celebrate his laziness.
I feel like if Gabby could have the Christmas tree up all year,
Yeah.
she would.
It's the best.
But
It makes it look so wholesome though.
yeah,
Jack,
it,
my
it
pa-
actually does. And to be fair, I really like our Christmas tree
Yours
setup
is
this
cute.
year.
It's like
Yeah.
a little miniature one.
It's nice in the little nook. We've got the Christmas corner going
It's
because
very cute.
there's a couple of Grinches lurking
At Tegan.
at Tegan.
Tegan is Zeb and Gabby's housemate. God love her. Not the best.
Unfortunately, she doesn't like Christmas, but we didn't find that out until we actually moved in.
The deal was
That's
already
okay.
done. It was too late to backtrack.
It's all right. We actually, I think we might have almost converted her though.
Yeah.
We got her involved in the Christmas tree setup
Yeah.
not long ago, and I think she actually enjoyed it low key.
Well, we set ours up on Monday, my roommate Katie and I, and the boys in the house were like, why are you going through so much effort? It's not worth it. We're adults. We don't need to celebrate Christmas. And then Jack, my partner, on Tuesday morning was like, it was so wholesome walking out to that Christmas tree in
Yeah,
the morning.
I loved it.
I was
yeah.
like, I told you.
No, how good. Well, yeah, almost the back end of the year.
Oh, how are you feeling this time of year?
Good. I think
You look fresh.
still, yeah, I think still ticking,
Yeah.
but
Some
definitely
better than others.
definitely almost ready for a break, I think.
Oh, seriously. I'm positive vibes and my energy's good, but my
Likewise.
body is like, please help me.
Yeah, and I think around this time of year, it just tends to be social weekend.
Oh, work increases, life increases.
Yeah,
It's a
everything
lot.
just goes nuts. And, everyone at work at the minute has been trying to get in to get their appointment before the Chrissy New Year's.
Yes,
so
true.
it gets really busy, I think, around this time of year because we're kind of pre-school finishing up. So everyone's trying to pop in and quickly get everything
Pump it out.
sorted.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, people are going away. So they're like, I've got to make sure I pop in quickly and touch base and just say good day. And that way they don't have to worry about anything over Chrissy. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But it just makes for a busy time, right?
100%. And it's good. It's so exciting. As I said, I love this time of year, but also it's a lot. And I think this year is the first year that I've been better at my boundaries and saying no to things. Normally I'm just go, 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 go. And I know you don't believe me when I say that, but I have
I was
been
about to say,
saying no.
really?
I know.
Really?
I have been saying no to things and it feels good. This weekend I'm doing absolutely bugger all and I'm really excited.
We'd like to take a break from today's episode to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Drip Digital. They manage all of our audio and video editing as well as our social media marketing. Without them, the We Don't Know Yet podcast wouldn't be possible. So thank you again.
It's really important around this time of year to have a bit of time to yourself. So I'm glad you're finally jumping on that bandwagon.
Practicing what I preach.
Yeah, well, I think we've had a pretty hectic last couple of weeks anyway.
We
Hey,
have. It's been fun. Zeb and I have been raving.
yeah, we went to Spilt Milk the other week, which was good fun
It was
down in
lots of
Canberra.
fun.
I'd only been to Canberra. That was my second trip to Canberra, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice. I mean, we didn't
agree to
actually
disagree.
spend too much time in Canberra, but Gabby and I were like, because we'd barely been to Canberra, I was like, let's just go in and just roam around the city.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything. Everyone was telling us, what is it, Questacon?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was telling us to go and do all this different stuff in
Have
Canberra.
you never been to Questacon? I don't know if you're missing out. Well, to be fair, when I went in year 5 or whatever it was, all of the rides were really broken, shut down.
Right.
So I
They were
didn't get
having
the
a bit of
full
a
Questacon.
maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, everyone was kind of like, yeah, get to Questacon. And then we kind of got down there. It was on the back end of the trip. We kind of went out for lunch and went for a walk up and down. There's a big river that goes under one of the main bridges between Parliament House and...
Oh, yeah.
Or Parliament
It's
House?
got a
Is it
name.
Parliament House? Yeah, it's Parliament
Yeah,
House.
Parliament House. What
Okay,
do you
yeah.
think it was?
I don't know. For some reason, I just had that...
The White House.
Yeah, I just had one of those moments where I was like, did I say that right? But yeah, no, we went for a big walk and then then it was time to come home.
It's not bad. I feel like it's the one weekend when Canberra is pumping.
Yeah, absolutely popping
It's
off.
pretty good. And then what did we do last weekend?
Last weekend, just gone, we were at a boiler room in Sydney.
Very unhealth professional of
Yeah,
us.
yeah, low key.
It was so fun. Very low key, very chill. Definitely. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, now we're here and
We're
we're
here.
alive and we're trotting along. Work's good. Your work's very busy.
Yeah, EDs get pretty hectic this time of
Yeah,
year.
and I wasn't really too sure what that looked like in terms of if it's cycled a little bit across the year with different events and different seasons.
Yeah. Look, I haven't actually sat down to track the metrics of it, like, and see the cycle, but definitely what I've known since working in this field is this time of year is just like chaos.
Yeah, pretty
But
busy.
it's good. Like, I want to be there to provide that support to my clients, which is always nice. I have decided not to work between Chrissy and New Year, though, this year, because while I was really busy last year, I just need the time off.
Yeah, space.
Yes. Are you taking time off?
Yep, we'll head back to Melbourne. Ooh, Melbourne!
Go
For all
Melbs.
the Melbs people out there, we'll be back in Melbourne. I think from probably around the 21st.
Yeah.
And then I'm a December baby, so I'm like a couple of days before Chrissy, 23rd.
Yeah, nice.
And so we'll head back before that, catch up with family, friends, spend Chrissy and New Year's back there in Melbourne, and then probably look to make a return at some stage in the new year. But I think we've still got a bit going on before, like in terms of the potty, we've got a
We're
bit of
pumping out eps, guys.
yeah, we're really slogging it out for the next 2 weeks. So we'll be talking about Christmas, but you guys will be listening about Christmas in the future.
Yeah, yeah. But is there ever a bad time to talk about Christmas?
Oh, absolutely
I don't think
not.
so.
Absolutely not.
So this episode, I guess, is not really research based. We're not having anybody on or interviewing, but we are answering the questions that you guys have been submitting over the past couple of weeks
yeah, and because we've done a few little Q&A
on
things on
our
Instagram. It's
Insta,
been really
yeah.
nice to actually get a bit of feedback or some talking points. And probably a lot more personal than actually healthcare or health industry related. But that's okay as well, because I think, to be honest, we did that first episode and I think there was so much discussion about,
Health.
well, yeah, it was just very health orientated, the direction we were looking to kind of set the potty in.
Yeah.
We didn't actually really break down much about us. So this would be really kind of cool just to go through, in a sense that the people that have been kind of asking some of these questions probably know us. And you know, some of the people that have been asking these questions don't know us very well. So
It's a bit of a mix.
Yeah, it's a
Zeb
bit of
and
a-
Maddie unmasked.
yeah, weird mixed bag. But
Yeah.
it was nice to get a little bit of feedback, and then as well just some things that have been popping up over the last few weeks in terms of responses to some of the Q&A stuff on Spotify as well.
Yeah.
Hey.
We'll do a few more of these as well. So if you guys do have questions, please send them through either on our Insta, slide into our DMs, or hello@wedon'tknowyet.co.
Yeah.
Or we don't know yet pod.co.
We don't know yet.
Shit.
.pod.
No.
Oh, hello at we don't know yet
.co.
pod.co.
So there is a pod. We'll pop it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just check out the show notes.
Because you've got so
Emails.
many .pods, .co's, it's hard. Anyway.
Yes.
All right.
Logistics. But
Should we
yeah,
dive
let's
in?
get stuck in because I think it might there's some really interesting ones here to cover.
I know.
Let's get stuck in.
All
First
right.
things first is talking a little bit about how we actually met, because we never,
I don't
like I
think
said,
we've really
we never
unpacked it.
really touched on it too much, and
Yeah.
I find it a little bit of a funny story, being probably the one that's not really from this area. So,
Yeah.
you know, our worlds crossing, I think was a little bit funny.
No, absolutely. So this question was submitted on our Insta stories, I believe. We will keep all the names who submitted the questions anonymous.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how did we meet and what sparked the idea for the potty? Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah. Well, so when Gabby and I moved up to Sydney, we were like, we need to just put ourselves out there, get involved in some different areas of
Yeah.
life, because the last thing we wanted was for it to be eat, work, sleep, repeat.
Yeah, nah.
And we joined the URC, the
Shout out
Underground
to
Run Club.
URC.
And that was like the first social setting that we probably injected ourselves into.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to Dan, and he was like, yeah, mate, just come on down. Like, it'll be great. You'll meet so many new people. It's very interactive. Like, we run this time. And then we all get a coffee after and whatever. And I remember for the first few weeks being pretty nervous because I've never moved interstate before. But I remember standing there at the coffee shop afterwards for a few weeks, just kind of like having a coffee. I would say probably more around people than in the actual circles or anything, because I was kind of like floating between little different groups and was meeting like one person at a time on the run, and then I just like talk to them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we probably started talking a little bit more in the lead up to like Sydney Marathon. I would say.
Sydney?
Yeah, I think so.
Last year or this year?
Last year.
I didn't do Sydney.
I feel like that's probably where I got a little bit more involved.
True.
And you were starting to train for Husky last year.
Yes, that was it.
And I was training for like the Sydney Mara. And because I vaguely remember standing in line with the coffee being like, oh, are you running the Sydney Marathon? And you're like,
God, you have a
no,
good
I'm
memory.
doing the Husky.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, my memory is so bad. I knew we met there and I knew that I met you before Gabs.
Yeah.
But the other details were just nah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all in the head.
Memory, guys.
But yeah, pretty much I remember talking to you about the fact that I was doing Sydney, the half mara. I think by now I'd already met a few people and it was just kind of all starting to come together.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then the rest is history, right?
Actually, for the pod part, I do remember, I think you were all texting and you were like, dude, I'd love to start a podcast one day. And I was like, yeah, me too. But I don't want to start it with anybody. And you're like, me too. And then we were like, should we? And then we chatted about it after a few drinks.
Yeah. And that was the origin story of the name, which was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I think overall, the starting of the actual podcast itself was just such a random.
So random.
Just like a random interaction that we just like. I actually don't think there was any context to it. It was just like,
we should do
hey,
this. Yeah.
Hey, do you want to start a potty? And like exactly how you said it was just kind of like, I think it just worked out for both of us. I don't know.
To be fair though, like we're both very good talkers, as I'm sure you guys can see.
Duh.
Here.
I don't say suppose anymore.
Suppose, yeah. Actually, what do I say?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, that's it. I almost said actually then. But yeah, like we always chatted stuff outside of work and outside of the run club anyway, and then it just kind of made sense to do it as a bit of a hobby.
Yeah, and I think similar interests kind of paved the way for some of that stuff, which is cool. So both being in the industry, it was a nice segue into starting or creating something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
about it. Hey.
Yeah, I think that might have been the
origin
running story.
Yeah, met through running. Both wanted to start a pod. Didn't want to do it ourselves, so we just decided to do it together. Didn't know what to call it. We're kind of just joking around, calling it, oh, let's call it We Don't Know Yet, and then the rest is history.
And here we are.
A
few years down the line.
Oh, so good.
And one day you'll come to Melbourne to do the Melbourne Mara.
Don't get me started. You hyped it up so much this year.
I know.
Next year.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that pretty much, I think covers.
I think that covers the first
the
one.
OG story.
Yeah.
And to segue a little bit off of that, the next question that we ended up getting through was talking about some hobbies outside of work. So, why don't you start? What do you kind of like to do when you aren't in the office or aren't doing work-related stuff? Because I feel like there's a lot of work-related hours in your week.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I have dreams of hobbies, but I don't do them. I read in summer, so I love reading. I have been wanting to get back into surfing. Full disclosure, I'm actually not very good, but I did used to do it somewhat.
Maddie and I went surfing one time together and it was...
My leg broke snapped.
Tragic.
So I did buy a new board, so I want to get back into surfing. I also love sewing. I used to do...
Sewing?
Yeah, I never used to do team sports as a kid because coordination is not my strong suit, so my parents...
You've been working on it. They were like, you need to get some hand-eye.
Well, my parents put me in sewing lessons for 3 years instead of team sports. So, God, I can sew good, but I would like to get back into
some sewing.
Yeah.
Some warm, woolly clothes for this
Seriously.
lovely 30-something degree weather, hey?
Oh, gosh, goodness me. I love sewing. So, sewing, baking, surfing, probably be my hobbies. What about you?
Nice. That's a really nice little kit there.
Yeah, it's a bit random.
Yeah, I've really been trying to break into the reading space. I find it so hard just because I think I'm so scat brain all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. So reading's one that I have really enjoyed, and I think I've done a lot of my reading more so in transit from here to Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's been really cool to kind of be able to like sit on a flight, read for a couple of hours, get halfway through a book, and then finish it off on the way back. But I also would like to do more of that because I also feel like I don't use my time effectively.
I know.
And then, gosh, what else? Well, recently basketball has become a very big part of my life.
You have reignited your passion for b-ball.
Yeah. So I was really into basketball when I was in Melbourne, and then when we were moving up here, I was kind of like, I don't know anyone in the basketball space, so I kind of hung the boots up. And then
Are they boots or shoes? What do you call them?
I don't know. I'm going to call them boots and shoes.
Tangent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like they can be called both.
Okay.
But yeah, and then a local team happened to reach out, and my boss kind of put me in touch with them and was like, "Look, these guys are looking for another player to come on board and just run around." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind getting back into it." So I went around and had the best time with them. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I actually miss basketball so much. So I've recently really ramped up on the basketball front,
Yeah.
which has been great.
You have been.
Yeah, and it's taken up a lot of my spare time.
That's good though. I can imagine it'd be so good just to, like, clear your mind.
Yeah, it is really good. And I think based off our little discussion last week in terms of stress and a discussion that will be coming out shortly with another one of our guests, Elise. It's been really nice to use that as kind of a little bit of an outlet for me.
Yeah.
Because I think it helps balance things out a little bit with work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that, and then, other hobbies. This kind of goes back to what we're going to talk about with Elise as well, in terms of like really having a good string of hobbies to lean on.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm an okay cook. I wouldn't say I'm like a good cook.
You're a good barista.
Oh, we just got lucky with a coffee machine. I don't know if it's me actually making the coffees any good or if it's a coffee machine. I don't know. Going to the beach, chilling out.
Yeah, love the beach.
I'm not very good at surfing, so I can't say surfing.
To be fair though, like nor am I, but God, it's fun just paddling out and sitting out the back.
I
until you have to come back in.
The one time we went surfing, I paddled out the back.
Yeah.
Sat out the back. Didn't catch. I maybe caught one wave for the day because I was so timid and scared of crashing into anyone.
I know.
And then paddled all the way back in.
Cronulla's not good for it though. We need to go down south, I think.
Yeah, or I just need to go to Cronulla and walk the whole way up the beach so that I'm with no one.
The Green Hills Way. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Did I tell you I've got PTSD? Well, not actual PTSD. Like I'm just a little bit scarred from my surfing accident last year.
No.
Did I tell you what happened?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, I feel like our listeners are going to like this. So this is a story.
Tangent. Let's go.
It's a tangent, but it's a good story. So I've always enjoyed surfing / paddling. I actually tried to do the right thing after a stressful day for work one day last year. I think it was around March. So I was like, I'll go for a paddle. Jack was working out of Manly, so like not anywhere near home at all. I was like, yep, I'll just go for a paddle by myself. It'll be so nice. Ended up getting like absolutely pumped by a wave, fall off. But I was under the water and I was on like one of my friend's really like old school massive Mal boards. A Mal is like a really long board for anyone that doesn't know. I was under the water. The board came back over the top of me while I was underwater and missed my vagina. I don't know if we're allowed to say that. If we can't, please beep it. Missed that part of my anatomy by probably a centimetre and had to go get 10 stitches.
Oh my
I had
gosh.
to drive myself to the emergency room. Blood was just pumping everywhere. Jack was in Manly, so he couldn't even get home anytime soon.
Dude.
My mum was in the city and they had to like put 10 stitches down there. So I've been a little bit timid since then.
That is completely fair. I don't know if I'll ever make a return to the water now.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Honestly.
Seriously. And then mum thought of it. I think she thought of it last week and she's like, oh, did you hear that surfer died because they cut his femoral artery like under like the fin? You were really close to that. I was like, thanks heaps, mum.
Thanks, mum. Yeah.
It's a lot.
I'm scared.
It's a lot. Nah, it's just
I won't
my
lie.
uncles.
I feel like if you don't know what you're doing out there, you're in a bit of strife. Like
Yeah.
I paddle around out there and I have no idea what's going on, and I instantly get cautious about
I know.
people around me just being like, "What is this guy doing?"
Mine was just sheer bad luck. Like it was
Yeah,
so
that's
bad. Like people
brutal.
fall off. It's okay. But
Is it though?
yeah, it happens. Everyone falls off.
I
You
know
can't
you're
not
meant to
off.
fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I fell off and this big old mouth fin just like
Oh.
sliced me.
dude,
Yeah, love that.
that is wild.
Slight tangent, but I think it's interesting.
That is so interesting. I did not know that about you at all.
Yeah, it's wild.
I'm impressed you got back in the water.
Yeah, it's taken a bit. It took me like a while to get back into the habit of it. As you can understand, I was probably a little bit reserved.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
we're getting there. We're getting there. I bought a new board, softer fin.
yeah. Softer board, softer fins.
Oh, goodness me.
Gee whiz.
Yeah. So hobbies. You are b-ball.
Yeah, I think basketball would be one of my hobbies. A little bit of reading here and there,
Yep.
and also this stuff. I love this stuff.
This is
This
fun.
is like a nice hobby / work for me. So
It is good.
I really enjoy this
get
as
to
like a side
chat.
gig. Yeah. And just mingling with people, you know.
Yeah, you're a very
I'm a
good
bit of a
socialite.
mingler.
Yeah, I
Trying
love
to
it.
be a socialite.
It's
The
good.
social battery lasts a while, which is good.
Actually, Sarah, who met you properly on the weekend, Sarah's one of my good girlfriends, met Zeb on the weekend, and was like, now that I've met Zeb, I can really understand why you two do a podcast together. I was like, yes.
Just talk dribble.
Talk absolute dribble nonstop. Alrighty, third question. What does a typical day look like for both of you, and how do you incorporate wellness into your routines?
Nice.
Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, well, my days change every day of my week.
Yeah.
So I don't have a day that stays the same. And I think that's such a typical thing of someone in the healthcare industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like if you're a doctor, you're working warped hours, whether it's like shift work or whether it's as a GP working long hours or what that looks like. Nurses are the same thing. A lot of the time I hear about shift work nurses. And like for us, it's similar in a sense that like in private practice, you tend to be, you know, not working a full 9 to 5 week. Sometimes people work a full 9 to 5 week. My weeks are a little bit more broken up. So I've got like some days in my week where I just work the arvo, like today. And then other days where I just work the morning. So depending on the day, depends on the, kind of what a typical day looks like. But, you know, if we were to use today, for example, usually I get out of bed, get some sort of movement in. So recently it's been getting up and hitting the court,
Love
getting
that.
a few reps up. And then usually get some food in me, some fuel for the day. Do a bit of tinkering in the morning on a Wednesday, and then I'm at work at the clinic on a Wednesday afternoon, seeing patients back to back.
Yep.
And then usually after that, I might have a basketball training or a gym session with the basketball boys from Sutherland Basketball, and then
That's it.
that's it. Dinner with Gab,
Love that.
bed.
What do you guys do
sleep.
at night? Do you watch TV?
I feel like I never used to be a big TV person. Oh, actually, that's a lie. When I was living in Melbourne, because we were going through lockdown and everything like that, I feel like we were big on TV. I feel like lockdowns really hit me hard with TV because I feel like now I sit down to do like tinkering stuff on the TV.
Yeah.
And it's like, why not? Let's just like whack on some episodes.
Background
Tegan's been
noise.
watching The Office at the minute. Oh,
Oh, I love
love
The
The
American.
Office. Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
So I sit there and like try and do work a little bit. And if she's got The Office on, I'm like, this is my shit. I love this so much.
Actually, when we did the shit posting, we put it up yesterday at the time of recording. All of them were Office memes. I was like, God, I'm very biased towards
I'm
The
Office addicted. Yeah, so we do watch a little bit of TV here and there. But
Yeah.
usually it'll be like doing work or doing just admin stuff at the same time as having the TV on the background.
And wellness routine, or I guess would be the movement in the morning and winding down at night for you.
Yeah. Movement in the morning and usually pretty well. And I mean, my wellness routine has kind of changed a little bit because I tend to now probably focus more on trying to incorporate like rest days versus like movement in the morning, wind down at night.
Yeah.
Because like, for example, today, usually I'll get up, get reps up in the morning and then I'm at the gym with the boys after work. So it's kind of like a lot of movement
A lot of movement in
based
one
stuff.
day.
Yeah. But
and your job's active as well.
yeah, and it is very active. So to be honest with you, sitting down, going through some of this stuff, it's actually kind of like really nice and relaxing for me. So I enjoy this being like a little bit of my kind of wind down,
Nice.
weirdly. I feel like we've spoken about this before, but me and you are both very like not sit there and do nothing people. We're like,
it kills me.
yeah. So I mean, it's really important, I think, for me to have a phase where I do go through and just don't do anything.
Yeah.
But it's on a normal week, it's a bit of a rarity. I've been trying to make sure that I really block out like a Saturday or a Sunday though, and like that's like a full day off exercise entirely. Like I'm not doing anything. I'm just
Lounging.
if
Horizontal.
I'm going to work or I'm back here and we're just chilling out.
Love that.
Like it just depends, but it's just. Yeah, I think as well, over our last few conversations with some of the guests that we've had on here, it's like reiterated to me the importance of being like, right, take your own advice, take a bit of time off,
Yeah.
just rest and
Stop
recoup.
being a hypocrite.
Stop being a hypocrite. Yeah, because we're absolutely guilty.
100% I am.
Yeah, but what about you? Because you got some hectic days in there.
Yeah. Look, it's a bit like you in the fact of like every day's a bit different, which I kind of like. I don't really want to do the same mundane thing day in, day out.
Yeah.
Hours definitely vary. I typically like to do a longer day on a Thursday, like 12 hours or so, so that I can pare it back on a Friday.
Yeah.
Actually don't mind that. I haven't actually been doing it, but the idea's there.
Yeah.
So every day's a little bit different. I do try and do something in the morning just because I really find it sets my day up right. So whether that's movement or having a sleep in, but more often than not getting like coffee with friends. So I'm pretty lucky that most of my friends have the capacity to catch up in the morning.
Yeah.
So just do that, which is really nice.
Nice.
End of the day, testy pup. End of the day is a bit different. If I'm home late from work, it's kind of just like eat, shower, sleep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because it is getting nicer weather, I'm trying to get home a bit earlier, go for walks with Jack, afternoon swims, that sort of stuff.
Oh, wholesome.
Yes.
So wholesome.
It is a little bit wholesome.
How good when you live right down the road from the beach, right?
Oh my gosh, it's so nice. It literally takes us 2 minutes to walk. I feel very lucky.
Oh,
I know.
so good.
Actually, yesterday I didn't want to. I was like, nah, I'm too tired. And then I was like, you have not always lived here. You are so lucky to be able to live here. Fucking go for a swim.
Yeah,
Excuse
play
my
on.
language. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like 20-ish minutes from the beach.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes with traffic.
Yeah, you're not far at all.
Which
you're
is
also near
good.
the Wannie.
Yeah, true. Near the river, but yeah, I haven't dared experiment with the river yet.
Yeah, it's a bit bull shark vibes.
Oh yeah, I just don't know about it. I see a few like little puffer fish swimming in there or something like that. Something bit strange going on there. So I haven't dipped my toe in yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting down to I've never utilized the beach so much, and I think it's one of those things that since I moved up here, I was like, yeah,
this is nice.
it's a great beach.
It is a great beach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though I love some of the beaches around where we were, but that's okay. But yeah, that sounds unreal.
Yeah, bit of a mixed bag, but I kind of like it that way.
Yeah,
Next
nice.
year, I want to pare it back even more. I'm thinking.
Yeah, good one.
Yes. Alrighty. What are some of the simple things I can change in my diet to improve my overall health?
Cool. Well, do you want to start us off here? Because I feel like you're the dietitian, so I
Yeah.
feel like you should start a little bit, and I'll just add my 10 cents where I feel like I can, because I feel like I can't really speak too much to this stuff.
Yeah. Look, I feel like I couldn't talk to the cows come home about this for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I'll keep it simple with 2 points. Point number 1 is water.
Yeah.
Very easy. Don't drink enough of it. I'm very guilty of that. Point number 2 is plant-based food. So yes, fruits and veggies, but also things like whole grains as well.
Yeah.
When I was looking up some stats a few months ago, I think it was like 1 in 10 Australians meet the recommended serves of veggies a day, which is wild. That
Yeah.
is so bad. So the recommended serves, for anyone that doesn't know, is 5 to 6 serves a day. Only 1 in 10 Australian adults eat that. So like, it's just a very easy way to increase. And I know cost of living like gets in the way, but frozen canned veg are just as good.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
water and veggies, or water and plant foods rather, would probably
Yeah.
be my main points.
Your go-to.
Yep.
And I reckon my only 10 cents on this doesn't really come from obviously not being a dietitian. I don't really have the education around a lot of that stuff, but
Yep.
just from podcasts and things that I've kind of listened to, trying to get a little bit more of a understanding on how food can play a big role in someone's life. I think just like diverse foods.
Yeah, wide range.
Because I feel like people can be pretty like stock standard, simple, like not really kind of
same thing day in, day out.
deviate from the beaten path, and you know, having such a mixed variety of foods, different colors, you know, different types. I think it's just it sounds like it's so beneficial for your gut health,
For sure.
and really important to kind of try and incorporate.
Yeah, what is it? 30 plant-based foods a week is like a really good goal to strive for. That actually sounds like a lot, but again, it's not just counting fruits and veggies. It's counting like brown rice, quinoa, chickpeas, legumes, like all of that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
I listened to one of Tim Spector's podcasts with the Diary of a CEO recently, and he was talking about just people don't think about it, but if you get like a mixed nut pack, or
Yep.
something along those lines,
Yeah, it's a
you
plant food.
just have like a handful of mixed nuts. It's mixed. It's not just one nut. It's You know,
wide
some of those
variety.
mix. Yeah, I was like,
Lots of nuts.
I never thought about that. Which just blows my mind.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think we keep it there. Otherwise, we can. Sort
Yeah,
of
otherwise
just,
we
like,
go down big tangents
Yes.
with food. I feel like that's going to be its own podcast in the future anyway.
for sure. So variety, water, and plant foods.
Yeah, nice.
Love that.
Cool. And then on from that, we probably a really good one to kind of talk about. The question or the message that came through was, in my 30s, are there any specific health checkups that I should be getting?
Love this.
Yeah, which is cool because I think kind of goes back to what we were talking about with Chapo a few weeks ago, that
Pod 3.
yeah, and I think we live in a very symptom, like a Band-Aid
Treat the
or
symptom.
treat the symptom and a Band-Aid approach space at the minute.
Yeah,
And we need to probably shift gears a little bit of that
for sure.
and focus on, actually being a bit more proactive and preventative.
Yeah.
Um,
To be fair, I actually am not quite sure of the
Yeah.
exact health
I don't know.
checkups.
I don't know what health checks at all. Actually,
Yeah.
like, to be honest with you.
But we do know where you can find them.
Yeah. dudum-tsh.
So we looked at My Health Pledge, their website. Chapo runs My Health Pledge for anyone that doesn't know.
Yeah, we had him. We had him on, and kind of he spoke a little bit about My Health Pledge.
Yeah, so we're looking at the resource section, and they actually have, based on like your what's the word, like the decade of your age group, so
yeah.
like 20s through to 80s, they have a checklist of the different health checkups you should get.
Yeah, downloadable checklist.
So go to myhealthpledge.com.au/resources for more. We'll pop it in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
But I found that really helpful. Like, even, I'm in my 20s, and there were some in there that I was like, whoa, I would never have considered that.
Yeah, well, just things that I never thought about getting checked out. Hey.
Yeah.
And it's just, like you said, it's good to bring awareness to a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to have it in a checklist format as well. Otherwise, it's like, oh, I haven't been to the dentist in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. So yeah, definitely. We're probably not the best people to ask about that.
Yeah.
But head to Chapo's
Yeah.
page.
It's free. It's easy. Download it. It gives you all you need.
Yeah, and maybe clock on a pledge while you're there.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Subtle plug.
Yes, very subtle plug.
Cool. You go. Shoot.
All right.
So the next question that we have up is, what is the coolest and toughest part of your jobs? Do you want to start?
This is a good one to go through as well, because I think there's so many benefits to our jobs and our industry, but it is a really difficult job to do as well.
Yes.
I think in terms of the best thing about my job, I'm a bit of a socialite, so I love talking with people, interacting with people. It's like my favorite thing in the world to do.
You love a good chat.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Half the time people come into my consult room and we're just talking the whole time on
So-
top of actually doing the work. But yeah, I think that's probably the best part of my day is having these people come in, building new relationships with some of my patients, and then watching them go through their healthcare journey. But with that also comes sometimes a little bit of a difficult path as well. So the other side of that being that, yeah, it doesn't always go as well as it should. And sometimes I'm not the person for the job, and that person might need a little bit of extra help. But I think because I feel like a bit of an empathic practitioner,
Right.
I tend to really feel those lows with the patient when they're going through something that is really challenging, or they're having a lot of difficulties to get over their pain presentation.
Yep.
So yeah, I find that probably the hardest part of the job, and they may be pretty stereotypical, but there's a lot that goes into that, and you try not to take much home from work, but sometimes it's hard. It creeps in
Absolutely.
in little places, and I think it contributes to a lot of things like we're talking about in episode 2. In burnout,
For sure.
like you just really need a break sometimes for our industry, just because otherwise it just gets pretty hectic.
Absolutely.
But what about you?
Yeah, likewise. I think it's really cool. Like, I guess coolest part would be following that whole client on their journey. So
Yeah.
getting to follow them from start to finish and seeing all the wins, seeing the triumphs and the achievements. That's always really, really nice. And also just getting to know them on a more of a personal level. Like, obviously still having that professional boundary, but it's different in private practice as opposed to a hospital. You're not just seeing them as a once off and then,
Yeah, and that's the thing that I think differs for you too, right? Because you actually do or have had experience working within like a hospital setting as well. Whereas, I feel like it'd be so different working with people in a hospital.
It's so different. Like the motivation to change probably isn't there as much, which is, just not my cup of tea. And I really like to get to know people, have a chat with them, get to know to people. That's good English, Maddie.
Nice, man.
Get to know people, have a good chat with them and follow them through. So that's definitely the coolest part. On the flip side of that, similar to you, I'm very empathic, very prone to burnout. I'm super burnt out at the moment. We had a conversation off air about this. I'll call it, I'll name it. I need to go back to episode 2 and like practice what I preach a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Prone to burnout, not just in dietetics in general, but also just healthcare in general as well.
Yeah.
But in particular, the ED sort of field is a lot. Can be quite taxing emotionally. So definitely that would probably be the toughest part of my job at the moment. But I kind of, you take the W.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just what it is sometimes, isn't it? You know,
No.
take the small wins when they're there.
Absolutely. But no, it's really, really cool. I love my job. It's cheesy but true. So it's just kind of putting in those burnout prevention strategies, which is my 2024 New Year's resolution. Not being burnt out yet again.
I think each year in this industry, you have to strive towards that.
I know. It's like, what can I do to not be burnt
Yeah.
out? I'm actually putting in holidays next year, I should say. I'm really excited. Yes. All right. Do you want to kick us off with the final question?
The last one that we had to cover today was where are we actually heading with this podcast?
That was a great question.
Yeah. I think it made us think about it a little bit as well, just because of the fact that we're still very early on in this journey.
As you can tell.
Yeah. And from our camera crew that is non-existent.
Our iPhones.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe kick us off with where you think we're headed.
Well, we kind of chatted about this.
We did. We spoke about it.
We were like, how much do we give away? Like, we want to tell people that we've got plans. It's not just a podcast. Like, obviously there's things that we want to do off the back of that. I don't want to give away too much.
Nah, neither.
I guess all I will say is that this isn't the be-all and end-all. It's not just a podcast. It's not just for shits and gigs. We do want to create something off the back of it, something to serve you guys better, to be a little bit more of a community. I think we just leave it there.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And I also think hopefully onto bigger and bigger setups. Bigger and better setups.
More professional setups. That's
Yeah.
our 2024 podcast resolution.
Yeah, hopefully we avoid any mishaps in the future
No
like we
cutting
have
off our
had. Like we have had recently.
Oh,
But
gosh.
yeah, I
It's a
think
little learning curve.
that's it. We're still kind of trying to piece together where we're actually going. Yeah, we've got a really good foundation.
We've got a great foundation. And we actually do have a plan. We're not just saying, we won't give away too much right now.
Yeah,
Not
we've
knowing
got a
where the
plan.
hell we're going. We've got a plan.
Just believe us.
Yeah. It was full conspiracy theorists like you and I sitting down mapping out the plan a few months
It was
ago.
like, what's that scene? Oh,
Like that meme?
Yeah, with Alan from The Hangover. Yeah.
Oh, the
Just going.
100%. Yeah. So we've got a plan. We just don't want to give away too much, but just know we've got good things coming.
Good things coming.
Alrighty. I reckon we finish it there.
Yeah, I think that wraps it off. So,
Cool.
guys, stay tuned. We've got a few more guest speaker episodes coming out shortly.
Absolutely. And a few more listener Q&As as well. So if you do have questions, send us a DM on Instagram. Email us via the email. We'll pop it in the show notes because I know I'm going to mess it up. But yeah, we're definitely going to do more of these. Thank you for submitting your questions and stay tuned.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's podcast.
Be the first to know when the next episode drops by hitting subscribe on wherever you catch your podcasts.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at we don't know yet.pod.
See ya.